sliding practice for Jaxson on Sunday?
Yeah, got the wind knocked out of him. He's good. Yeah, I would like him to slide on that.
7 points in 3 preseason games.
I'm sorry.
7 points in 3 preseason games. How pleased are you with just that scoring line?
Well, I think just the effort of the guys is what we're really focused on, the discipline, their team-first attitude, their work ethic, big things, the accountability to one another, to the coaches, to the players. Again, it's a process of training camp to the preseason games and being able to execute, regardless of who's in there. There's a standard that, I'm going to hold everybody to. And, we got 17 days here before the first one, so we got a lot of work still to get done.
Brian, in college, Jackson's aggressiveness when running with the ball was a note when he was coming out of college. We've seen him dive a decent amount in practice, kind of aggressive again in the Bills game, and now this one. I mean, how do you coach it out of him? How do you balance it? You don't want to take it away, but also you can be safe. How do you find that?
Yeah, I wouldn't coach it out of him. There's just certain times that you got to make the right decision. I would say in this particular game is probably a good time to slide, the third preseason game. Every situation's different. I've had different quarterbacks that could run and are pretty productive running the football. There's a time and a place. You'd like to take as few hits as you can, but I like Jackson's competitiveness, his toughness. We got to make the right decision. And those are split-second decisions, Connor. So, I trust him. I trust the guys that I've been around, our guys. I trust them to do the right thing, but I'll never take his competitiveness away.
Is it harder to decide in the split second whether they go down, whether they go up, to decide when's the right time, when's not?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good question for Jaxson and those guys that do it. Things happen in a split second in this league. Certainly don't want to take any unnecessary hits, but I love his competitiveness and his toughness.
How do you think he did today? I mean, to get his first start, I'm sure he's excited.
Yeah. I mean, every ball should have been complete. So, or all but one, maybe.
Was your plan to take him out at that point, though, just to no matter whether he took that hit or not? Was it your plan?
I'm sorry.
Was it your plan for him to only play that to that point in the game and then go to Jameis, or would you have put Jaxson back in if he had not taken the hit?
No, Jameis was up, and then Tommy was going to play in the second half.
What do you think of Tommy's play?
I thought all the quarterbacks played well. Thought they played well all preseason. Thought they played well all training camp. Decisive, quick, good decision making. We threw that pick down there in the end zone again. But timely, I think, helped the line. The line's doing a nice job, but the quarterbacks are doing a nice job as well.
Dave, how did Jaxson die? I assume you made the decision at some point yesterday and then even earlier that he was going to start tonight. How did his process change, if at all, from last night to today? Did you give him opportunities that, kind of simulate what it would be like starting a game? Yeah,
it was a short week, Art. Obviously, we played, Saturday? So it was a short week. Jaxson had an idea he was going to start for the week. I think that's important. Again, it's the third preseason game. You're really not doing any game planning, but for a quarterback, whatever calls we put on the call sheet to prepare. But he needs to prepare like that every week. So do all the quarterbacks. Oh, good?
Is this a tough spot, Dave, for you? I mean, your quarterback, you had 4 quarterbacks, and it becomes a numbers game at some point. But to get the play that you've gotten out of your quarterbacks, who knows what's going to happen on Tuesday, but it's rare for a team to keep 4. Is it hard for you because you spend so much time with these quarterbacks? And I know it's hard every year at every position.
Yeah.
But just to get exactly what you've gotten out of these 4 guys, is it going to be hard to move forward if you have to move forward?
I'd say with every player, Art, I know it's, obviously the quarterbacks, you're around them a lot, you develop a special relationship with them. But for every player, they put so much time and effort into, being the best that they can be to try to make a roster. And unfortunately, you can only keep a certain amount. I certainly appreciate everybody's, again, work ethic and commitment to the team. Even the way the guys were playing all the way up until the end. I know it's the third preseason game, but I think there's something to be said for the level of discipline and accountability and effort that they've given all the way through. And guys on the sideline jumping up and down or running down after TJ had that pick. Trying to build something. But it's these next couple of days are tough on the players, and they're tough on the personnel staff, the coaching staff, because this is a relationship business.
How do you think Jalin did? Like the one hit him in the shoulder, then he makes the catch on the long one?
Yeah, he had a nice touchdown.
What about the other deep one for Jackson?
Go back and look at it.
Now that we're through the offseason, training camp, preseason's done, we spent a lot of time talking about your plan with Jaxson. Through it all, did you accomplish what you wanted to with him to this point? Were you able to do a little bit more than what you expected when this whole thing began?
Yeah, I'd say kind of we're on a day-to-day plan with the young quarterback. Every day we're learning something. For example, I put him out there at the coin toss today, and he's running up to me 3 minutes. What do you want me to do again? I've never done this before. I just on the last second, I told him you're going out there right when I got here today. A few minutes before we went out there, so he's thinking about that, and just try to do things that may come up one day with him. So we'll keep on building them. I think Shea and Kafka have done a really good job with him. I think he's done a good job. Credit the player first and foremost. Being a rookie quarterback is not easy. Being a quarterback is not easy. So he knows he's got a lot of things to work on, but he's made progress every day. And I'm glad we drafted him. I'm glad he's our guy.
Did Abdul have the same reaction?
Yeah, Abdul was less. I usually have the quarterback go out there and decide what we're going to do. So he's like, wait a minute. So we're going to take the ball, but what if they defer? Which way do you want me to kick? So there was just things. He's out there warming up, and he's coming over to me. I'm like, what? And he's got 2 questions. I'm like, don't worry about that. Just let's go. But I wanted him to think about, what it'll be like one day.
Balance, Jaxson, when aggressiveness and competitiveness with being safe, like slide, not slide.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I just shouldn't have fumbled. Never been taken out of the game for getting there, knocked out of me. So that was the first. But I mean, I quite honestly felt like I could split them when I, saw the open field. So honestly, like in that situation, I didn't feel like I was in too much of a threat to get a big hit on me. But I think that quite honestly, like just situations based. Like if you're going to take a big hit, then yeah, you slide. But I didn't feel like I was in a situation where I was going to take a really big hit, so I felt like I could, kind of extend the play and maybe make something out of it. Just should have held on to the ball.
Bothered you that they took you out of the game? You wanted to finish the drive?
Yeah, that I don't know. I mean, I told him I was like, you would feel uncomfortable if you got the air knocked out of you too. Like I'm fine. I'm trying to get my breath. So that was all there was. Obviously, they have like they're a little different in college, I guess. But yeah.
He hit you from behind, right? The hit was from behind, right?
Well, there's 2 guys. It was the DB in front of me, and I think it was the linebacker who kind of came from the side.
The moment of you going into the medical tent, when kind of has gone viral of you kind of making this motion, were you just like, hurry up, you want to get back out there?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't understand why I got took off the field. So I was just, I wanted to get back out there and finish the drive. So I just, everybody was kind of just like walking over. I'm like, let's go. I want to get back out there. So, shout out to Jameis for, throwing a touchdown and finishing that last drive that I was in.
He make any jokes with you about kind of stealing one the way it happened in practice a couple of weeks ago?
No, I mean, we're a team. So anytime you put points on the board, and thought it was good for Jalin to get that as well. So was just happy to put points up in that situation.
Jaxson,
would you like to slide in that situation in the future, or are you just like, hey, I'm gonna try to get extra yards when I can?
Yeah, I think it's just like situation based. Like I said, I felt like I could have made it a bigger play on it, and I thought I could split them. And I feel like if I just break a tackle, then I'm gone. So, but yeah, I mean, there's situations where things are super congested and you're going to take a big shot, then obviously you want to get down. But I felt like it was the open field and I could have made a play.
What does it say about this quarterback room that you're off the field for one play and Jameis can float it into the end zone for a touchdown?
Yeah, we're all really good players. I think that everybody's kind of seen that throughout practices, throughout camp. Like, we all operate at high levels. And guys are just continuing to get better each and every day. It's a really fun room to be a part of because it's super competitive that way. And we have an amazing relationship between all of us. But it's definitely fun, and we're all each other's biggest fans when we're out there on the field.
Does that also mean you have a smaller margin of error when you do get an opportunity to play?
I mean, you got to go out there and compete, and you got to make your plays when you're called and you're out there on the field. And we expect everybody to make those plays. So I don't think we really look at it that way.
Jaxson, you're accustomed to starting, obviously.
Yeah.
Did this feel normal to you to start a game?
Yeah, absolutely. I've never been, in my career, coming off the bench, so just felt normal to go out there and to play right off the bat.
Jaxson, the off season's over now, training camp's over, preseason's over. If you needed to play after everything you've done this off season, do you feel you're ready?
I feel like whenever my number's called, that I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play my game and I'm going to ball. And that's just my mindset anytime I touch the field. Obviously, Russ is the starter and he's going to do amazing. He's had such a great camp and has played at an elite level. So, my job is just to be the best teammate and, be ready whenever it is. But, I'm excited for Russ and what he's going to do this year.
After 3 games, what do you mentioned that other than just starting, he liked to add a little other things to your routine, including going out there for the coin toss. And he mentioned how that was so different for your routine. What was that like, adding to the preparation of the game and kind of figuring out how is this done? The new elements of an NFL game.
Yeah, I haven't been out for a coin toss since high school. Because Ole Miss, we always wanted the ball first, so I had to get my arm warmed up and get ready to go. So I'd have other guys go and do it for me. So when he was like, "Go do it," I was like, "Shit, I can't even remember what to do." But it was a good experience, especially for me and Abdul.
After 3 games, what do you think you've learned the most so far, just from this experience and from growing as a quarterback so far?
I think I've learned a lot about preparation going into games, especially at this level. I've just felt more and more comfortable each week, and I think that tributes to just the time that I've put into trying to learn the system to the best of my abilities. I've also learned that every guy out there on the field is an elite player at what they do. So you can't let one mistake lead to another one, and little things in your game will get exposed. So I think that through my time in camp, I've been able to grow and learn from a lot of those things. And then when I come out on the field, I'm able to correlate that to the game of just things that I've learned. So I think the biggest thing is just preparation and routine.
Jaxson, was there a specific moment, whether it was training camp, game against the Bills, anything like that, where I know you're a very confident player, but where something happened where you're like, this is the NFL, I got this, I can do this, I got it. Like, it confirmed, it reaffirmed in your mind, like, you can do this.
I think I've just always had that thought in my head. I've said this, when I step on the field, I expect to play at a high level, and to be honest, I have the confidence that I feel like I'm going to be the best player on the field every time I touch on it. So I think I just, I kind of just expect to play good. That's just the standard that I have for myself. So when you don't play to that standard, it's really frustrating. And then you just try to be consistent and play to your level.
You talked about how you expect Russell to go out there and be great, and also that you've been a starter your entire life. So this could be it for you for a while. How tough will that be to sit on the bench and have to watch somebody else for the first time?
Yeah, I'm just shifting my perspective to be the best teammate that I can be. Russ has completely earned that role for him, and he's played amazing. He's played elite. So, for me, I just want to be the best teammate, and I want this team to win. So, whatever my role is for that to happen, I'm going to do that to the best of my ability.
Jaxson, I know you get close with Tommy. His future here is obviously a little tenuous. What was it like watching him play there and ball out in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I was so excited. In the quarterback room, we can make who we think is going to be the player of the game, and I said, I felt like it was going to be Tommy. Calf said that we can't pick a guy in the room, but I knew that he was going to go out there and ball. And, just the things that I've seen and how much I've grown from just, learning from him. Not only is he a great teammate, but he's, one of my best friends on the team too. So I was really happy to see him play at the level that he did, and it really just wasn't any surprise for any of us.
Tommy, what was that like for you? From the minute you got the pretty nice ovation coming into the game to throwing 3 touchdowns?
It was a lot of fun. It's been a little while since I've gotten some good time. To be able to go in there and play. The first preseason was 2 drives, just about. Last one was 1 drive. So to be able to have not a set amount of time, it felt good to be able to go out there and play football again.
Are you thinking as you go out there, as you go through the game at all, like this could be the last time you're playing in front of these people? Most teams don't keep 4 quarterbacks, or does not even enter your mind?
I think about that in the sense of every time I go out on the field, you never know which one's going to be your last. Just having that roller coaster like I've had in the past with injuries, playing performance, whatever it is. So anytime I go out there, I try to put my all out because you never know when it is going to be your last indeed.
What was your reaction when Jaxson had to come out of the game? When Jaxson didn't slide and had to come out of the game? What did you think?
It's a work in progress. I'm trying to help him out a little bit. He seems like the type that's going to learn from personal experience. So hopefully he will take that insight from today and get better from there. But I knew he was okay.
Did you say anything to him?
Oh, when he came back, yeah. I let him know. I treat him like it's like my little brother, even though we're not that far age, it's not like that, but just trying to help him go over the bumps and just talk to him really. Slide. Dude, you don't need to be taking these unnecessary hits like this. And certain times in the game, situations, yes, I get it. Be a ball player, but in times like that, just go down.
Tommy, you've been through a lot of lessons here in really a short amount of time. Well, now it's a long amount of time, 3 years. What did you take from this experience these last couple of months? And going into this weekend, you've been here before, and you've been uncertain about what the future might hold. What's different now than maybe what's been in the past for you here?
Yeah, kind of my similar mindset of, be ready when your number's called. Obviously how rookie year played out, never kind of knew how that was going to happen. It kind of happened how it did. Last year, similar kind of thing, get thrown in there, so you got to be ready to play. And then this year it's a little different because I'm going on year 3 of the offense. I know it like the back of my hand. I can do everything, get to any answer that I've been taught from the coaches in the past 2 years, with ease. So it's really about just focusing on the defense, not really worrying about the offense as much. So I think for me, it's just being able to play faster. I feel like I was seeing it well tonight. The guys were playing great. The O-line did awesome. Really, there was nobody near me really at all. So it made everything easy, but just going out and executing and doing what I do.
You might be in a unique position here in the coming days where you could have the opportunity to decide your future a little bit in terms of maybe coming back here as quarterback 4 in the practice squad, or going to another team where you could be a quarterback 3, quarterback 2, and try to fight your way up. What is important to you? Have you thought about that at all?
No, not too much. All of my focus, obviously, there's a lot of things like that weighing down as the time gets closer. But for me, it was really focusing on this game. Obviously, I've said it last year, anytime you go out on the field, no matter where you are, especially being undrafted, you're performing for all 31 other organizations as well. So it's important to do that, but as well as be where your feet are. Right now, this is where I am, so that's what I'm going to continue to do each day in, day out, and then I'll let my agent and everything else handle itself if that time were to come.
This is obviously a talented quarterback room. If that happened to be your last stint here with the Giants, what does that mean for you to do what you did, tonight?
It means a lot. Like you said, just the ovation, there's still from Jersey, it's if I was in the stands, I'd be cheering for anybody who was the hometown kid too. So it was appreciated. Just to go out and execute. Obviously, still things to clean up, but like I said, it felt good getting some time with 2 whole quarters to be able to go out and play and just feel the energy, excitement, and love for the game again.
I guess we should start with the touchdown catch. Certainly, that's the kind of play that people want to be expecting from you. How'd it feel good?
Yeah, it felt good. Jameis threw a beautiful ball. kept the red line. Kind of just disappointed in my performance. I felt like I could have made more plays out there. So just got to go back, look at film, see what I need to correct, and get back at it.
Yeah, you did have the 3 catches on 6 targets, and I guess the DBs had some position and did try to get their hands on a couple. But you say you feel disappointed. What did you feel you missed out there?
No, it wasn't them. It wasn't the DBs at all. I think the first play that Dart threw. He threw a beautiful pass. Really, both of them was beautiful. I got to come back. I got to come down with those. So, like I said, I just got to correct some things. Attack the ball. Things that I know I can do, and I got to continue to work on that.
You were able to play in 2 of the 3 preseason games. How well do you feel you've acclimated yourself during this past month?
Yeah, I felt, I was banged up a little bit during training camp, but, I felt like I made, some good plays. Wish I was out there for all the preseason games, but, I went, dealt with some injuries. But it was fun to be out there, fun to be out there with the guys, especially, after the touchdown, seeing, how many players have supported me throughout this journey. And, I'm just glad and blessed to be on this team.
This offense has been very explosive through this preseason. What's the difference?
They believe in us. That quarterback room is talented, and their ball placement on where they throw their passes is beautiful. And we got to make plays for them. And it starts with today. I felt like I didn't make enough plays for Dart, and kind of disappointed about that.
I've heard you say before that one of the things you do is handle adversity well. Is that an example of it? You not happy with the first 2 and you come back and you make the touchdown on the third one?
Yeah, for sure. Adversity is going to come with it. I had adversity when I was at Tennessee. I feel like today was a good example of that. Started off a little slow for myself, and ended it with a touchdown. But like I said, I left too many plays out there that I know that if I had it back, that I'll definitely come down with, and I got to play better for Dart. That was his first time starting, first time out there, and just very disappointed. What I did today.
You held up 3 or 4 fingers to the crowd after your touchdown. What was that?
Yeah, it was 4. It was for one of my brothers, Gage Zerke, who played with me, and he lost his life. So it's really a tribute to him.